Hey, welcome to Liverpool Community Podcast. I'm your host, Chase Johnson Lynch, and once again, we're here with some interesting people that I thought that you might like to hear from. People that you didn't know was out there in the world doing some good. And so one of those people is Liz Hopes, who's a team leader from Read Easy Merseyside. How you doing, Liz?
I'm fine, thank you. Thank you very much for inviting us here.
Yeah. Well, when you say us, you're one of the few people who actually bring in, I don't want to call him a test subject, but an example of the work that you're doing in the community that we're going to talk about. And you're joined by Mr. Peter Lloyd. How you doing, Peter?
I'm doing very well. How's it going? Fantastic to be here today.
Well, no, hey, listening to your story, it's really fantastic because I think it's very relatable, because as Phil, likes to go onto the internet, not like a troll or anything, but sometimes he likes to get the facts, making sure that I say it right. And one of those such facts is that 6 million UK adults have been known to not be able to read and everything. And what do you think when you hear that, Liz?
It makes me very sad, actually. It makes me very sad because I know from being alongside Peter here that the impact that can have on people's lives, it really makes a difference to your life. Life just becomes more challenging when you can't read.
Yeah, no, but it's also the fact that, I think people kind of just say, well, that's how it is, or, I'm never going to move forward or never going to get involved. And that's why it's great that you brought Peter here to share his story, because Peter is now a graduate of this program that you have started. And basically, I think you did your 18 months at Read Easy Merseyside, and we're going to talk about how it actually works. But first of all, let's get a little origin story here, because as we said, 6 million people have been known to, and that's probably just catalog, have been known to not be able to read. But you feel that you were within that category just some time ago, weren't you?
I wouldn't say that initially. I would say personally, I felt like I was the only one in the world at that time. I knew probably would have been other people.
Yeah.
But in my personal opinion, I thought when I walked around Liverpool or anywhere, I thought I was the only one. I felt like I stood out like a sore thumb. Mm-hmm. I really thought I'm the only one. But when I looked a few things up, when I was told a few things, I realised I'm not the only one. But it didn't make me feel any better.
No, but because you managed to forge out a life for yourself. You're married, you have 2 children, I believe, and everything. But you said you started out on a farm, really doing like physical labor, having that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And but then you started to notice more and more disability not to be able to read. I don't know how long I can actually get by here. It wasn't like you were hiding from your partner or anything like that, but would you say you were hiding from other people?
Yeah, I was hiding from other people, but I'm 47.
Mm-hmm.
I was born in 78, and if you think about it, between 78, early 2000s, wasn't such things really as mobile phones, car parks were all coins, your wage packets were physical money, inside a little package.
Yeah.
Life was easy-ish. You could get by to a certain point within life, not having to panic or worry, because some of the jobs out there where you didn't need a degree or such or anything to be able to read and write, you could kind of just muddle through life. As time's gone by now, if you can't read, the world now will actually pass you by because you are singled out, because everything now is so digital, online, that unless you can read, you're not going to survive in life as easy.
The way, and maybe Liz could tell us about this, the way the project works, Read Easy, is it that you have volunteers, right? But they are one-to-one coaching with people like Peter, right?
Yes.
And so basically it's tailor-made in a way. You form a bond and a relationship, isn't that right, Peter?
Yeah.
And everything. So one of those things was you were able to Allison, I believe you mentioned.
Yeah, Alison. Yeah.
Yeah, you were able to mention to her about this reading the menu.
Yeah.
And what did she suggest you do? Take a picture of it or something?
Yeah, what we did in the early stages of me to know, we got to know each other first. It's not a case you just go into this course and just start immediately. As it was, as he talked about as well a lot more, is that we have to get paired up with a coach. It's not a case of here's a coach, run with it.
Yeah.
We get asked questions on what kind of coach would be best for you, kind of person, what makes you tick best.
Yeah.
So I met up with Alison, then we talk about things, and I started going through the programme. But as Alison said to me, she said, it's not just going through the manuals, it's everyday life experiences. And me and my wife, my little boy at the time, we went to a restaurant, and my wife can't have milk, and neither can my son. They got an allergy. So we went to this restaurant. I was already on level 2 by then, you know what I mean? I thought, I'm running with this a little bit. I can deal with it a little bit. Got to the restaurant, they give the menu to us, and it looked like someone just throwing all the words out of a piece of paper.
Yeah.
And it did not make sense. So I ended up getting what we had to get because I didn't know what to do. My wife was a bit upset, a bit worried because with the milk allergies and stuff. Mm-hmm. So we ate what we had to eat. We went away. A couple of weeks later, after speaking to Alison, went back there. I got a menu and I took it back to my coach. I said to Alison, I don't get this. Could we run through it? Mm-hmm. So we ran through it and learned to understand it. And the best thing about learning to understand things when you learn to read makes you feel a lot better.
Yeah.
Went back to the restaurants.
More comfortable as well.
Cool. And we had a lovely meal and we chose it. And that's just one of the smallest things that Read Easy as an organisation give me.
Yeah.
Many other things, but it's not just manuals and it's not one book fits all. The manuals are there, but it's tailored to work in your specific way.
Yeah. Now, what I thought was really interesting, and I hope you don't mind sharing this, really, because I think Liz would agree, your project is about the personal, isn't it? It's about the one-to-ones and the people that you encounter that can benefit the most. And, like, so before you decided to take on the project, right, you know, you were kind of, like, really at your wit's end, weren't you?
Yeah.
You know, and like, you know, you described it like, you know, like this was like the most important phone call of your life.
Well, yeah.
On this particular night, you know what I mean?
Speaking to Liz for the first time.
Yeah.
Because
can you tell us about it?
Oh, I thought, do you want to go back? Where do you want to start it from?
No, to that phone
do
call,
that
bro.
first. The first phone call.
The first phone call, I thought, personally, it wasn't going to work.
Yeah.
It's a bit of a scam.
Yeah, of course.
I thought...
I know about those
that's
people, those scammer watchers.
Yeah, that's the bit that makes me laugh.
It makes me laugh. I like laughing.
Yeah. me and Liz, I got that phone call. I spoke to Liz, and we had a lovely conversation. It wasn't just a 2-minute phone call. It was quite a while. And it's just the way Liz talked to me.
Yeah.
She reassured me. And she said, there's nothing lost, there's nothing gained. Give it a go. Trust in it, and it will work.
And I think that's the difference. Is what we're saying to people is, you're going to go on a journey. You know, the readers need to make a commitment as well to us. But this is no classrooms. There's no groups.
Yes.
You have your own coach who will go with you on this journey. And I think the difference is because we know making that first contact with us is a big deal for people. You know, this could be the first time you've ever admitted that you can't read or you can't read very well.
It's difficult for a lot of people,
It's
especially
hard.
as grown
It's
adults, to
It's
be able to say that. But also, too, I think what was really hit me hard about your story is about how your son interceded as well.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that shows, like, the love that you have around you and everything else like that. But you were about to kind of like let you leave that all behind. You know
It's
what I mean?
difficult. There's multiple things. Listen, get in a room opposite to where your son's in bed and your wife's reading him a bedtime story.
Mm-hmm.
They're giggling away, laughing away, reading a book. You can't take part, and you use every word under the sun of dad's busy, gotta go to work, gotta fix this job, gotta sort this out. And you give anything in your power to be able to sit there and read a book to your son, who's about 2-3 years old at the time.
Yeah.
And you can't. And you feel so helpless. And you gotta take yourself out of it. And when he's going to bed, it should be a lovely time for you to spend time as a family, do that. You end up just going out. I'll go and sort that job out. Because it comes to a point where you just can't bear being in that same room or near them. Because it just hurts. Yeah. Because as a parent, you naturally want to help your kids.
No, I totally feel you here, because also too is I thought what was amazing about your story is that you equated to like, I couldn't read a bedtime story, like to my son, but then now in your own bag, you pulled out what?
Harry Potter.
Look at that. You know what I mean?
I know.
I mean, it's just, it's just amazing that,
like, for that?
With pride, I don't think our camera can see. Turn it towards that one there, yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah, okay.
Perfect.
I've gone through all the books so far.
Hey, look, JK didn't give us any money, but I don't care.
Yeah, I'm not sure about copyright here, but anyway, moving on.
We didn't say what book he was reading. That's for the readers out there. No, I just think that's just amazing because, it's like, going at your own pace would seem to be like the ethos of your read easy approach, as you say, tailor making things. You have, manuals, 5 different levels.
Yep.
Everyone starts at 1, and then, you was talking about even graduating, you're probably at like a level 2.
Yeah.
But you also have a thirst for it now that you've been doing it, then you want to, you're looking for different ways to advance to other levels and stuff like that. And I just think that's just amazing. And hopefully inspiring for others in that aspect, because at the end of the day, would you say it was hard? Once you got through the scam notice,
yeah.
Once you got
Please,
through
everybody,
the door,
it's not a scam, it's real.
Yeah.
No.
It's
Of course it
100%
is,
real.
but you know what I mean? Once you get through the door, right? I mean, Peter, I'm just asking you, it's like, does it get better?
It gets 100% better. For what Liz told me that day, and then meeting Alice on the first day, to where I am now, I'm not walking away from Read Easy.
Mm-hmm.
It's all well and good Liz sitting here and saying to everyone, do this course, it's going to help you. There's a lot of people out there who are in my position who are saying, well, how do you know that? Because you've always been able to read. So how can you say you can do it when you've always done it? But I'm sat here saying, I've been on the other side.
Yeah.
And it does work.
Yeah.
And if you want to look, just look at me. I'm willing to talk, willing to listen.
And it also matters because I think Read Easy also, when we were talking about it, you demonstrated the difference between quality over quantity. Because when we started to like look at the numbers, right, and everything, and like we looked at like some of the breakdowns, and basically, I believe you said like in 18 months, you got like 8 graduates, you got 24 reading prayers, and to some people might go, that didn't sound like that. Well, 18 months. That doesn't mean that they're not going to be more. But as I said, what do you say about the idea of quality over quantity?
I think the thing about the service that we offer is very much because it's designed to help the individual wherever they are. So we've never been here to say it's about the numbers we've got to push through the programme. It's really about, we're here to help anybody who wants to improve their reading, and it's a slow process. This isn't an easy fix for anybody. Going through the programme will take you about 18 months. You'll be meeting twice a week with your reading coach, and I suspect doing reading in between those sessions as well.
Of course.
So this is really getting somebody to a level where they can read confidently, and life becomes so much easier. It's so many doors open for you when you can read. I mean, I was touched by some of the stories that Peter shared with me, and I'm not the same person now because of this. You know, I find myself, I'm at a railway station and somebody will come up to me and say, is this train going to? When I'm standing underneath the board. Now I think maybe they can't read it.
Yeah.
So my attitude towards people who ask me questions like, you're standing in a supermarket, where's the self-raising flower? And you're standing right in front of it.
Yeah.
So I think we've all changed because of this programme.
More understanding.
Our attitude towards the people we share life with, and being able to see, we've had graduates now who can read to their grandchildren, which is why some of them started with us.
We're all grown together.
Yeah, we are.
Now, let's talk about some of the excuses over time that you've heard about why I can't do this program. I can't travel.
Yes.
What do you think?
Well, because you're matched up with your own reading coach, we will try to match you with somebody who lives in your area. So you can meet up with them in a local cafe, a local community centre, so somewhere that is as close as we can possibly get to where you are. I want to add a caveat in case somebody else is sitting out there saying, I don't want to meet in the area where I live because I don't want anyone to know. Yeah. We have matched people with reading coaches who don't live near their hometown because they don't want to meet there. Yeah. And that's possible as well.
Yeah. Now, it's also important, like when you say, look, if you don't show up, I'm using you to do your quotes.
Yeah.
it can't work. Okay, I'll finish it for her.
Yeah.
If you don't show up, it can't work, right?
Yeah.
But there is 24 hours. Yeah. Well, there is 24 hours in a day. I always live by that rule.
Yeah, well, exactly.
You eat, you sleep, you watch TV, and you play your phone. Now, if you just take your phone for argument's sake, how many hours or how many minutes are you on your phone scrolling?
Yeah.
A day. An average person, about an hour daily. If you just take 10 minutes a day out of your day, could be blocks of 2s, 5s, whatever it is, try and learn something new, no matter if it's reading, whatever it is, we're talking about reading, divide that by the month, through the year, how much you going to learn out of that. So that's not a case of, I have to devote so many hours of this week to this program. It's just an hour twice a week meeting up. And on top of that, in between that, if you just look at your work or your manual or something like that, do a couple of minutes a day. Add them all up.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Yeah, and it's also precious as far as to what you get out of it, isn't it? You know, hence where your final quote. Let's see if she can answer it for me. A, we do it with you.
We do it with you, not for you.
Can't do it for you.
Yeah.
True.
You know, I'm only trying to give you your quotes. She's like, what is he doing to me?
and some of this is, you know, we do know it's a big step that people have made when they first contact us. So I work with a fantastic team of volunteers. They're all amazing. And one of my fellow volunteers, her role is to, I would say, nurture the people that approach us so that they're ready for the programme before we start them. They understand what's going to happen, because it can be nerve-wracking, can't it? You know, you're suddenly thinking, I've now told somebody I can't read, so what happens now?
Mm-hmm.
So we have somebody who describes what's going to happen. We introduce them to their reading coach, so they've got a chance to speak to one another. You have a chance to decide where you want to meet. All the books are provided for you. So we are trying to make this journey as easy as possible for you. But I think what you were trying to get from me is there is a commitment from the readers. You do have to step into this space with us and go on a journey with us.
Well, yeah, exactly. I mean, we can only reach but so far without you reaching up as well, trying to get out and everything. And, because also, too, as I was asking, because a lot of times there are a lot of local events that are about where people put up, like, banners and everything. But you were saying, like, you guys, and as I should have mentioned before, like, you're a charity. You're part of the Read Easy program, which has about 85 groups across England itself, right? So, like, that's why you are Read Easy Merseyside. Yeah. I know I was clear, because there is a Read Easy Central. Look at the way she did that, right? But still, but you also don't do a lot of, like, public events, because you separated even, like, where you either are going to do something for looking for readers or something for looking for volunteers. Did you say that?
Yeah, I mean, we are a volunteer-led organisation, so like I said, I've got a fantastic team, but there's only so much time we can devote to what we do. So we do attend events, whether it's sometimes to find volunteers, and sometimes at those events, because I think that's where actually your son came across the information for us. I guess my plea is also, though, for people out there who are delivering services to people who could be their clients or customers or patients, depending on what it is, who you think might be struggling with their reading. So we are here to help all of those people. And by having a recommendation through somebody they already know and trust, it becomes sometimes an easier message to share with somebody.
Yeah, no, exactly. But then there's also the DWP, like you guys got a connection with them where like they're able to advertise what you're doing, so they're able to signpost.
Yes.
People who may show difficulty in reading and everything. Oh, well, have you tried this organization? But then there's also a thing like called social prescribing, where the GPs also have access to it as well.
Yeah.
And everything like that. Would you say that's the case?
Yes.
It's like how you get a lot of referrals.
I mean, we have referrals from a number of sources. People like Peter who approach us directly, but there are a variety of groups out there, and social prescribing is one source of referrals for us, because obviously they will have a number of patients coming through accessing a variety of services. Because they get to know their patients, they will probably be able to spot the signs of somebody not being able to. I haven't got my glasses. I'll take the form home. I'll get somebody. And it could be true. It could be they have forgotten their glasses, but often it's I'll just take this away because I can't read it here.
Yeah.
And then maybe it's an opportunity when you feel right to broach that subject with them and to say, there is something you can do about this. Yeah. It is possible.
No, definitely. I mean, that's the main thing. It's like, what's great is that there's so many different avenues to be approached, to be scouted. But like on the one hand, that is one of the main things here, because this is also the podcast route, the social media route, where we often say to people, it's like, hey, you can always, cut up a piece of this or whatever, and then put it on your social media handles. Now Liz is like looking at me like, what's the social media handle? No, I'm kidding.
I know what.
All right. But reason why I say that, because she got a long one. So when I said, so what's your social media handles and everything? So she said that Read Easy Merseyside is, Read Easy Merseyside on all the socials pretty much. It's like Facebook, Instagram, and everything else like that.
Yeah.
But what is this? There's also a website, Merseyside Leader. No, that's an email, isn't it? Merseyside Leader at readeasy.org.uk.
Yep, that's
Now,
the one. That's for me.
Let me tell you something, people. Let's not take advantage of that. Not everybody comes on and say, hey, here's my phone number, right? But that only shows how much Liz believes in the project.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And everything else like that. To be able to say, look, you can actually find me at that, address and everything. But Read Easy Merseyside, it's available on all the socials and everything like that. And what they're looking for, as she said, is they're looking for readers.
Yes.
More than volunteers, because basically they have the volunteers. And like, yo.
Yeah, we have reading coaches.
It's like we want to dance, man. You know what I mean? When you agree, Phil?
I agree entirely. Did a great job.
See, Phil's like my Egg McMahon. He's like, I agree, sir. He usually has a chortle in there. There it is. That was very small, Phil, and fake. But thank you for playing. So basically, because you had a clear message that you want to get out, is there anything that I didn't say that you would like to say?
I think it's really a connection to say to people out there, if you're like Peter and you feel like you're the only one who can't read, it's not true. There are a lot of people out there who can't. And if it's something that is causing you, I guess, just to not live your full life, because not being able to read just shuts so many doors for you, that we're here and ready to help you. I'm just going to say to live your best life. Come learn to read, because it will make such a difference.
I can vouch for that.
Well, in vouching for it, I would like to just share one more bit of your story there, where the people who are listening, the family is just as important here.
Yeah.
Not just the person who, is struggling or coping with not being able to read, and the embarrassment of letting other people know about that. Because, like, one of your responses were that night, on that dark, rainy night and stuff, was like, why are you setting me up to fail again?
Yep. I didn't want to be anymore. I got to a point in life, things were happening within work, COVID was about, it's just coming towards the end of COVID, different things. I thought, this is my life, the world's changing, you need to be able to read with social media, everything, computers. I just didn't want to be anymore.
Yeah.
And if it wasn't for Read Easy and for my wife and my kids, I wouldn't be sitting on this podcast today.
Exactly.
I would end my life. And I've got many thanks and love for Read Easy and for my family for helping me, support me. And if I've only one thing I could say to people out there who are still on the fence, give it a go. And if you're unsure, trying to find on social media or anything, everyone's got a mobile phone. Pick up your phone, say into your phone, Read Easy. It will come up with a phone number of some form. Pick up the phone, ring you, and it will change your life. It changed mine, and I'm the happiest person in the world now. I've got the chance at life again. I feel like I've been born again. I'm now reading my book with my son, and he's on the book below me, and we're actually reading different paragraphs together, different parts of it. So where I couldn't do before,
yeah, you can do now.
I'm now reading to my 14-year-old boy, and he's reading to me, and we're sharing life together.
Peter, it's like, Phil knows. What's my favorite movie, Phil?
Oh boy. His favourite movie is the Christmas one with James Stewart in.
It's a Wonderful Life.
It's a Wonderful Life.
Yeah.
And I mean, Peter, you sit there and stand there as a testament to that film.
Yeah.
With your story that you shared with us, and thank you for sharing that openly here and everything else like that. But that's why it touches me so much, how your family got around you to support you, and you're here, they're here, you're here together. So Liz, I want to thank you actually for being a part of this project. You're the team leader. You're the. She's like, no, I'm not. Yes, you are. You're the acorn and everything. So, and I think that people need to be able to look for Read Easy Merch Line. Gave you the website and all that kind of stuff. If you know someone, this is the point. Whether you're the person who feel you can't read or not, if you know someone, isn't this not the place to try to support them?
Yes.
And everything. So thank you very much for coming and joining me here in the studio and everything like that. And Peter, thank you for sharing your story.
Thank you for having us.
I don't know what I'm thanking you for, Phil. All right, nothing. But I'm thanking you. I'll just say please like and subscribe and everything, and but either way, we out of here.